back, guys. We are starting to wrap up our equivalent forms with percents, fractions, and decimals. So I'm just going to review the strategy. Today, you're going to be changing a fraction to a fraction to a decimal and a percent. So I'm just going to go over the strategy on what to do with those type of problems, and then you're going to go ahead and practice it on your own. So I have three for you to do with me, and then you're going to go off and do the practice on your own. Let me share my screen. Share. All right, so we are converting fractions to decimals and percents. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, if we can make it equal to 100 on our denominator, then we're halfway there. We can also use Tae-Bo. We're going to use both of them because we need a decimal and a percent to answer these questions. So we're going to start off with Tae-Bo. We're going to change our fraction to a decimal. So top in, bottom out. Top in, bottom out. 5 will not go into 4. So I need to put a 0, decimal, decimal, add a 0. 5 into 40. I know that 0 ending in 0, I can be divided by 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. It will go in 8 times. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 8. Voila! I have changed my fraction to a decimal. So I'm going to put my first answer down here. Okay? It also wants a percent. Remember, I can use Dr. Pepper. Remember good old Dr. Pepper? DP. If I'm going from a decimal to a percent, I move 2 to the right. Okay, so here's my decimal, 1, 2. Because I have an empty spot here, that means I fill it with a 0 and I add a percent sign. So my percent is 80%. So 4/5 as a fraction is represented as 8/10 as a decimal and 80% as a percent. So I have answered all of my questions. Fractions to decimals and percents. Let's try the next one. 8/15. Again, because I need a decimal, I'm going to go ahead and start with division. Top in, bottom out. 15 will not go into 8. So I put a 0, decimal, decimal, 0. I need to see how many 15s will go into 80. I'm not sure, so I'm going to do some scratch work. 15, let's start with 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. That's pretty close. Let's try 5. 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 75. That's even closer. I'm pretty sure if I go 6, it'll be too much. So I'm going to do 5. 5 times 15 is 75. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract that. I have 5. Because I still have a remainder, I need to add a 0. Now I'm at 50. So up here in my scratch work, when I did 15 times 4, I got 60. So let's go down 1. Do 15 times 3. We got 15. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4, so that's 45. So I'm going to put a 3 here. Subtract. Hot diggity. We got another 5. I got a 5 when I subtracted from here as well. When I keep getting the same number as a remainder, that is what's called a repeating decimal, So I'm going to put a bar over the 3 because I'm just going to keep using 3 if I keep dividing like this, okay? So I've answered my decimal part of this question, 0.53 with the bar over the 3. And you might be like, well, miss, why didn't you put the bar over the 5? Well, the 5 is not going to keep repeating. I'm going to keep using 3 on the top because I'm going to keep getting 50 as a remainder. So I only put the bar over the number that's going to be repeating. Now, in order to change this to a percent, I have to use my Dr. Pepper. I need to move my decimal 2 spots to the right. So here's my decimal, 1, 2. Now, because this is a repeating number, this 3 is a repeating number, my percent will also be repeating. So I'm going to put 53.3 with the bar percent. Because because that 3 is going to keep going for infinity. So 8/15 as a decimal is 53 hundredths repeating. And as a percent, it is 53.3% repeating. Okay? Let's try one more fraction to a decimal and a percent. I'm going to use Tyvo so I can get my decimal answer. Top in, bottom out. 20 will not go into 1. 20 will not go into 11. Decimal, decimal, 0. How many 20s will go into 110? If I count off my 20s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, I'm already at 100. 2. So if I do times 6, that'll be 120. So that's too much. So I need to do 20 times 5, which is 100. I have 10 left over. Add a 0. Ooh, there goes 100. I know that 20 times 5 is 100. So I'm going to do that again. I'm at 0. So my decimal answer, 0.55. All right, and I'm going to use Dr. Pepper. 2 movements to the right. 1, 2. So my percent will be 55%. Okay, guys, I just wanted to review the strategies of how to change a fraction to a decimal and to a percent. Now you're going to go off and do some practice on your own using the same strategies that we reviewed. Remember, you've already done this before. We're just reviewing it. We're just putting it all together. So head out to your folder, do your work for today, and I will see you tomorrow.